Action!
Understudy.
Your soul belongs to us.
Quitality? Ermac wins.
What is up, my dudes? It's your boy Musha here, back again with another video. And this one was requested by one of the viewers in the comments. I'm actually going to be going over Janet. So this is my first Kameo guide. If you guys like these Kameo guides, let me know. And I would be more than happy to go ahead and make some of them for you, because I use a good amount of cameos. But let's get right into it. So the question that was asked of me is how to use Janet, right? So like if I do, for example, this, how to do like the 3 punches, and then also how to go ahead and get the puppet setups going. So I'm going to go over basically the Janet, but with a couple different characters. So I'm going to start off with Ermac. So Ermac specifically, Janet's probably his best cameo. I mean, between Janet and Sector, it's kind of a really close, but Janet really does open him up. So Janet has a few different moves, right? Janet has the nut punch, which is safe on block, and that's a reversal. She also has the jump punch. She has the close jump punch. She has Mime time that puts up a wall, super useful and underused. And then she has Stunt double, where she can go ahead and bring out herself and do moves on her own, kind of like Kenshi does with Sento. So then, this most simple use that you see a lot of people use her for is the jump punch. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on input so that you can see. But basically, the way that her jump punch works is if I go and I uppercut, for example, and I press forward Kameo, because that's the one that'll catch her, she'll go ahead and jump and press once. Now, if I press forward Kameo, she'll do 2 of them, right? So when you do the second input, you have to be holding a direction, because you're repeating the input. In this case, the input is forward Kameo. Now, if I do forward Kameo and then back Kameo, that also works, as long as I'm repeating a directional input of forward or back with the Kameo button. Then that works. And if you notice the timing, what I'll do for 2 punches is I'll just put 2 together at once. So I'll go down 2, forward. See, so down 2, Kameo, and there you go. You can see the input timing on the right. On the left, I mean. See? And the other thing that I'll do is if I'm going to do 3 punches, it's a little bit different. You have to time the 3rd press. A lot of people just do this. They'll just start mashing. And I don't think that's good, because that's not a clean input, right? So what you want to do is when you do the 2 punches, time the 3rd hit with her 2nd punch. And she'll go ahead and keep them up. See? So that's how you want to do that. You want to time the 3rd hit with the 2nd punch. So, see? So here we go. See how there I timed it with the 2nd punch? There. 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 See? There. And that's how you want to time it. That's how you get 3 punches. So it's a big deal, because for certain setups, for example this one, I don't get the same setup as consistently without the 3 punches. If I do this, I can keep them lower to the ground. And there's some setups you only get with 3 punches, so you need to be able to do 3 punches with Janet. So that's basically how you do that. Now that works the same with short, the close Janet, or the far Janet. You're just going to use whichever one depending on which combo you're doing. For example, for Ermac's basic being B, I do far Janet there, because when he does this, he knocks him away. If I do close, it won't be far enough. See? So that's how you do that. So something that's good for practice, for example, Ermac is doing forward 4-3 into far Janet. You do another hit. Now, one thing about the punches is that when you are doing the punches, she can only, so she has 2 Kameo uses. Every time I summon her, if I do, for example, this, if I go, I can probably, let me see actually. If I go, let me actually try this. See, so you can summon her twice in the combo because you have 2 Kameo uses, but each time you summon her is a full Kameo use. If I do 1, that's still a full Kameo use. So even if I go like this, if I go, I don't know, that's still 1 use. See? So, and then the maximum number of times that you can use her in a combo is 4. So for example, if I do 2, like that, see, so that's 2 uses, and I do that, that's another 2 uses, so that's a maximum of 4. So you can do 4 uses in a combo. If I were to try to do anything different, then it would not work. So if I go like this, right, that's 1 plus 3, that's also 4 uses. If I go like this, let me see, and I try to do 3 now, it won't work. I won't be able to do 3. Even if I'm perfectly on time, I won't be able to do 3. So it's that's kind of put there as a balance, so that way you can't just crack her and do like infinite conversions or more combos or things like that. So you want to keep that in mind. When you're doing the punches, you can do a total of 4 in a combo. So an example of using 2 punches twice would be something like this. Let's try it again. See, so that's using her twice in the combo with 2 punches each time. See? And you can, again, you can do 3 punches, but then you'll only be able to do 1 punch afterward. Another good example is if I show you with Subzero. So with Subzero, let's just say I switch sides, and I do this. See, I can do that slide, right? I can also do 3 times. If I time that better, you can get 2 slides. See? So you get a slide conversion from that. And it could be really useful. This move can really be the difference for some characters, because like Subzero, who doesn't normally get a lot of damage, can actually get something pretty decent like this. If he goes... Let me see. Oh, did the wrong input. You can actually freeze them after that. Right? See, so that's already 33 that was meterless. You get stun bar. See? So you can get some pretty good damage there. You can actually keep it going and get 41, I think. If I go... I'm not sure how to catch them after, but you can see there how you can get conversions going. And that's basically, that covers the far punch with Janet. So now and if you notice there with Subzero, actually, if I go back to him for a moment, I'm using the close punch there. See, because if I do this, the far punch will whiff because they're too far away. See? So that's... one example of doing that. So very, very good. And now let me show you basically the mime time, so the wall. So the wall is very, very good, or better yet, let's go to the nut punch. That's probably an easier one to continue with. So the nut punch. So this is really, really good because it not only restands. If I do this, you can restand the opponent. And now they have to hold your mix. And you're pretty plus. The hit advantage on that is 34. So you can walk up, he has a guaranteed back 2, back 3, so he has an overhead low mix. You can go into clone with that. So it's some pretty good stuff. Mainly that's used as a restand. It can also be used to interrupt gaps in certain strings, because you can bring that out as the reversal move for the Kameo. So there's that, and let me see if I can actually think of an example to show you. Let's go here, take control of Ermac. See, so I can interrupt them there. See, so it's a perfect example. There I'm using the Kameo invulnerability to interrupt him at a gap. See? So that's an example. You can do that as a reversal. The other thing that you can do as well is, like I was saying, you can use it as a restand. So this can be really, really good because let's just say you have someone like Ermac, right? So Ermac likes to get you to block. Because when you block, when you're blocking against Ermac, he can start his cancel pressure. Right? He can do all of that. So you go like this, back 2. Right? And he can do all of that, right? So then the idea is if you restand them, you take away their ability to armor on wake up, so you don't have to deal with that. So that's really, really good. If you use it in a combo with Ermac, let's just say, for example, you're trying to mix somebody, they get opened up, restand them, and then now they gotta hold your next mix. See? So now they have to hold the pressure, you can keep going, you can dash up to your mid, dash up to your grab, and they have to guess, they can't armor, right, on wake up because they're standing. So that could be really good. For some other characters, it can give you guaranteed setups. So a perfect example is with Noob. See, so that's only possible because of the restand. Because normally if you would do this, you jump and then they have a chance to either anti-air you or they have a chance to armor, right? Most characters can because the safe jump of doing this into his stand 4. Stand 4 is 11 frames. It's not the same as doing a jump into stand 2, which is 7 frames. So that nut punch actually makes it so that you get a guaranteed mix. Where if you hit with the overhead like you saw, right? Let's try it again. So if you get hit with this like you saw, that's a half health combo. Right? So that's pretty powerful. And then if you have the mix, you can go low, go like this instead. Right, so you can see the power of that because now they have to hold it, and then even if you, let's just say we go ahead and we'll put him to do his fastest reversal, right? So he's gonna do it down 1, right? So we do that. If you do this, see that actually keeps it safe because that overhead mix, if you see they block that, you can go ahead with your mid, so you can go like this. This is safe. Right? Or you can go like this. Let's try to get, oh, the shadow's behind me. That's right. So yeah, so well, either way, you can see that it didn't hit. And if you time it just right, it actually jails into the ghost ball, right? The EX ghost ball. See, so they can't poke back, right? Perfect examples if I do slide. if I do it like this and I time it right, they actually get punished for trying to punish me. And then if I do this, then they actually can't punish that either. Because if I go like this into slide, let's just say I go, see, so it's a safe mix-up. So you can see the power of the restand there with Noob, for example. And that's really, really strong because this is arguably his best setup with the EX Ghost Ball. So definitely something that's worth learning, and there you can see the utility of the Ghost Ball. Another perfect example is with Subzero. So his launcher is unsafe, right? So if I go ahead and I put Noob Saibot to reversal, he'll be able to punish me for that, right? If I do this, then it's not the same case, because this itself is safe. Only Janet gets hit. Because if he goes ahead and blocks that, then you can see that's actually -6. So there's no one in the game that can punish that. It is a safe Kameo reversal move. So very, very nice. It can make other characters that have normally unsafe mix, it can make the mix safe, and at least, you know, gives them an extra layer of protection for that. Because even if I don't get a full combo from this is at least a restand where now I can go for a low, I can go for a grab. So there's definitely a lot of utility to the nut punch, so don't sleep on the nut punch. Alright, and then moving on to the next move, we also have Janet Cage's Mime Time. So this wall. So this is a really like criminally underused move. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Quan Chi so you can see what I'm talking about. But for a character like this, for example, right? Janet is already an excellent cameo for him because she helps him get conversions that he would normally get. I keep getting down two because I'm doing the stand for too early. Right into the cage. So that's like really, really good. Excellent, right? I mean, and it gives him damage that he doesn't normally have. You can do that into maybe another portal, jump in. So, and all that's meterless. Also gives him throw combos. They're a little tight to time. Same story into the cage, and you start zoning them, right? But the other thing too, and it gives him also the ability to make this into that, right? You do the mid into the nut punch, do the overhead into the nut punch, keep it safe, things like that. So super, super good. Overhead into the nut punch, maybe hit him with stand 4, hit him with the overhead, drop a cage, they can't move in, get him with the mid, so things like that. But as well, you can also bring Janet out to do the Mime Time. So this is awesome because if you have a character that is trying to, let's just say Noob Saibot, I'm going to have him try to zone. Right, he's going to do that, throw the tackle, all that, right? So if I have him trying to do that to me, and I put up the Mime Time, now he can't zone me, but I can zone him. And that's huge because for a character that already has amazing zoning, it just lets him get it uncontested. So that's super, super good. Something to kind of like keep in mind as well. It also works really good with, for example, and with Quan, a character that literally wants to push you back. He can do this to keep you back, put the wall up as another layer of defense. He could put up this portal for free, and then what are you going to do when he starts throwing all these projectiles? Right? And that stays up for either the Kameo bar, you can see Janet's Kameo bar starts depleting, right? Or it can stay up for as long as Janet gets hit. So if I put Noob Saibot to walk up, right, and just do down 2s, usually a down 2 will knock her out of it. But I'll go ahead and do that, you can see she gets knocked out of it, see? So, let's try it again. See? So she has kind of like a health, right, that she can tank. So it's not infinite, but you can either knock her out of it, or you could just run down the timer. But still super, super good. Especially like doing things like this, where you can put the wall up. So if I have him, for example, let's just say he's blocking, right? It's not flawless, but if I have him, let's just say, I think it works on like a down 1, right? I can try to poke back. So if I go, ooh, that doesn't work. There, see, it does work on that. So now I have the uncontested zoning. Here I can put up the armor portal, put this up, right? Keep them away. So Quan just becomes really obnoxious because he already has, if you try to jump in, let's just say you get tired of it, and you try to jump forward, she has the wall, right? He could just easily, like on reaction, he can anti-air you. So he does that. Right, and then you have armor to tank the hit coming in. So things like that. Super, super good, like I said. Let's have him stop jumping. And the way you do that is just by pressing up Kameo at the same time. So very good. She cannot move. You can also juggle opponents off of her, right? So if we have somebody that, for example, teleports or gets behind them, you can actually do the wall, and then you can hit them towards the wall, see? So it's like they're stuck there. So you can do corner combos. It's similar to Frost, the ice wall that she makes. So things like that. So like that can also be really good for Subzero, where he gets combos off his back too. So just really, really good move overall. Definitely don't sleep on this move. The up Kameo, the Mime time. Super good. And you can also see this used for Noob. So if I'm using Noob Saibot, you see, and I put him to, let's just say I do this setup, right? I go here and I land a hit. Try again. Right? I can put up Janet and start zoning them. And the thing is that if they have the ghost ball on them, I have Janet, and I'm zoning them, they can't zone me back. And if I land a hit, I can just do it all over again. So super good, because normally this projectile is very slow. You can get them to stop. You actually get a chance to do it. You slide, and you just have uncontested zoning. So definitely a super good tool. Highly, highly recommend it. And moving on to finally, I think what everyone wants to see. Her final Kameo move, which is, let's go ahead and go here. Her stunt double, right? This is actually a super, super underused move. Just like that. I feel like people mostly just use Janet for the walk, for the jump punch. And they think that's all Janet is. But it's not. She's way more than that. She is so much more than just a nut punch. So, I'm sorry, not the nut punch, the jump punch. She's so much more than that. So, actually, she also gets a sweep combo with Ermac. Just a simple one, leads to a safe jump. But yeah, so now going to the stunt double. Now, I'm going to try to explain this as best I can, but the way that this basically works is that she's out, and it's very similar to Sento. When you are holding the Kameo button, she won't do anything. When you're holding block, she'll move instead of your character, right? So that's just like Sento. The difference is that you can buffer her moves. So if I want her to do a punch, a sweep, and a kick, I can actually go punch, sweep, kick, and she'll just do it. If you see my inputs, I'm inputting everything while she's doing that animation. So she'll do all of them. So she's easier to use because being able to do that means that you can buffer your moves ahead of time. So you can, if I wanted to set something up, I could go ahead and do that, and I can just hold R1 and then focus on using only the main character. So a perfect example of that is, for example, if I go ahead and I do this combo with Ermac, the one at the beginning of the video. Every time I'm doing that, I'm always doing 3 punches. And you can see that in my inputs. Punch, punch, punch. Same thing. See, I'm always doing 3 punches. And if you get really good at it, you can cycle her like 3 times. It's the one that I do. Right? So, ends up doing a little bit over 50% damage. But basically, what I'm doing there is, if I have them in a lift, right, and you have to do this pretty early on, right, so if I do this and I lift them, right, so I have them in a lift, I can then press down Kameo to call her, and then when I do that, I'm holding the Kameo button, I teleport, and then I kick. See? So I'm holding down the Kameo button, I do my teleport, see? And that's how you do that, so... See? Just like that. So that's the idea. Now you can get this from, for example, if I confirm a 1-2 into back forward 3, I can do stand 4 into that. Same combo route. It becomes basically the same route after that. So once you land the lift, it's always the same thing. You do your down Kameo, you bring out stunt double, teleport, Janet 4, and then here's the thing, right? So the way the shoe works is, when you press 1, she'll do a forward jab. If you press 2, she'll do an up jab. So this is, depending on what combo you're doing, you'll use different jabs. If you do 3, she'll just do a standard forward kick, right? If you do 4, she'll do a higher kick. So that's better for juggling, depending on certain situations, because it knocks them up a little bit more. Now, she also has directional inputs. So with her, if you do down 2, right, so here's Janet, I do down 2, she'll actually do an uppercut, right? With Janet, if I do, there is no directional input for 1, well, for down 1. She does have a forward 1, which is her energy ball. So that could be really useful. For example, if you have Ermac, you could just do this, queue up energy balls, teleport in, right? Now they have to deal with that at the same time as dealing with you. See? So that's super, super useful. It's like a free way to get in, right? They try to punish you, they get punished instead. See? So super, super good. And lastly, she has 2 more. If you do forward 3, she'll do a shadow kick, just like Johnny Cage's. So this is kind of like the legacy moves. It's the force ball from Johnny Cage, the shadow kick. Keep in mind they're both high so they can duck them. And then if you do forward 4, she'll do a launching kick. So what's nice about this kick is that she'll launch even if they're grounded. The other one's not so much. You see that doesn't launch. Stand 3 doesn't launch. So those don't launch, but forward 4 will launch. And I'm going to show you a combo with a character where you can actually see that being used. So that's kind of the idea with the Janet stunt double, or Gento like people call her. So ways to set it up with Ermac is, if you're having any string, right? Let's just say I land this and teleport confirm, right? I'm sorry, cancel confirm for Spirit Punch. I can do this and set it up there. If I call her out, I'm going to have enough to juggle her with that. See, I call her out. See? And you can do the full combo like that. It does less damage if you do it from the Spirit Punch. Cancel. Another thing I can do is, let's just say that I have this scenario, right? This is actually super, super common. So let's just say that somebody's trying to poke on your cancels, right? So Noob Saibot is going to poke. So I've already taught you to go like this in the last video. But if you land this, then you can go ahead and do that and call her there. A little hard to time that. You can also do the stand 4. See? And that's a full half health punish because they tried to poke on your cancel. See? So that's super, super good. Excellent, excellent punish. So instead of doing this, like I showed you in the other video, you can actually catch them with the knee. Instead of doing that punish into the safe jump, then what you can do is, if you have full Kameo, because you do need full Kameo to use stunt double. If you have full Kameo and you have at least one bar, you can go for the other punish instead. So super good, very practical. That'll happen pretty often if you're watching out for it, and you'll be able to go into the gentle combo. So now, going again into the timing for Ermac's gentle combo specifically, which, oh, actually, before I do that, another good example is if they try to poke on your, a lot of times they'll try to do this, right? So they might try to poke on, here we go, you should do, excellent. If you do this, right, this is negative, so they'll try to punish you. But if you go like this, for example, like, if you do this one, the EX one, they might try to poke on that. So if I go like this, then you can catch them with this. See, and you can do a lot of damage like that just because they try to press on your cancels. So super excellent. And now what I was trying to say about the timing for the puppet combo with Ermac is, I'm going to try to explain this as best I can, but basically when you land your EX lift, immediately call Janet. So that's down Kameo, and you can see my inputs on the side for the timing. Down Kameo, I'm going to do right now, and I put Telly. Now when I do down Kameo, I'm holding the Kameo button. Then when I hold the Kameo button, I do Telly, which is down back 4. And I want to try to time it so that during the, while I'm hitting them, they get launched up, see? And I have enough time to do stand 4. So mind you, when I do stand 4, after I do the kick, so to recap here, I let go of the Kameo button so that she can do her Janet 4. So I'm holding it, I let go. So after I put the telly, so here, I'll tell you when I let go of it. So here, I let go of it already. So it's after the telly input, I let go of it. Because, and here's why, right? Because if I don't let go of it, she's gonna kick in the middle of me doing the telly, and that's not gonna work. So I have to hold the Kameo button like that. See? Then I have to press the Kameo button again while I'm doing stand 4. See? So I have to press the Kameo button again here when I'm doing stand 4. So when I do stand forward, back forward 2, the choke, I have to hold the Kameo button. And what I do is while I'm holding the Kameo button, you press stand switch. So when you hold the Kameo button and press stand switch, she does the split and she recharges. She can do that up to 4 times. So if I go here, I'm trying to do the stand switch while he's doing the choke. And these kind of puppet combos, they work with any character that can hold the opponent still, either during a long move, like Subzero freeze, or the Subzero slide, or Ermac choke, things like that where it's long enough for her to get a cycle of her split refresh. And that's how it's going to work. So far we have this. And you'll see she's back in stance in time. So now what you want to do there is I press, remember I said about buffering earlier? What I'm going to do is I'm going to press 222. And she'll punch, she'll do 3 cycles of it. Because one of them is this. So she'll punch like 6 times. And that gives you enough time to do forward 2 and to choke again. So far, split, 222. And you want to be careful that you don't put in 2-2 like I just did. You want to put 2 back forward 2, so that way you don't drop the combo midway. Two, 2-2. Yeah, and if you don't hit them, if you try to do it too early, it'll whiff like that, and then you end up getting 2-2, forward 2-2. See, like that. So you can get 3 cycles of this. I've seen Ninja get 4, but I'm only going to show the 3 cycle one for now. And that's kind of the idea with that. You just keep on cycling that with the same timing. So when you're lifting them, 2, 2, 2, right there. You can time your 2 for a little bit after you hear the hit. 2, 2, 2, like right there. See? So again, if I do this, 2, 2, 2, right? And then you want to wait a little bit so that you can do your forward 2 choke. See? And that's basically the idea. So if we put all that to practice, yeah, it actually knocks him up. See? And that's it, guys. That's it for the Ermac puppet combo. Alright guys, and one last character that I kind of want to talk about in this video is actually Subzero. I know we hear a lot about Subzero with Chameleon, but Subzero Janet I think is also a really, really good team. It's like I said before, any character that can hold your opponent in place is excellent for puppet combos. Good candidate for that. And Subzero actually gets some really, really good meterless damage with Janet puppet combos from practical setups in the corner. So let's just say that I land something like this. Right? It's just a little tricky with the timing. See? And then see, and you actually start to see Subzero getting half health combos, which when do you ever see that? So, and I spent the bar at the end there just for fun, but you don't even have to. And like you saw, this setup leads into a puppet combo. So, and it's not that bad if you practice it for a bit. You do get it pretty consistently. Safe low, right? And then even if you want to keep it simple, I mean, you can even do this. And that's already almost half health just from doing stand 4 cycles. If you want to get more complex, then you can do this. So let me see. And it's super satisfying to land these as well, right? So super, super cool. And that can actually lead into a safe jump. So if I go, for example, like this, let me actually put Noob Saibot to wake up armor. It would be a good idea, so I can show you guys. Get a mode on, and we'll do his sweep, which is super far away. Here we go, enhanced shadow sweep. So if I go here, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. And that's a safe jump. See? Into another one. Armor break. See? So super, super good. That's an awesome setup because if you think about it, if you combine this with the setup I just showed you, you can actually break armor like that. See, so you just kind of want to be smart. Like, I can queue in, for example, a Janet sweep. If I think they're going to break armor, or if I think they're going to wake up armor, I can queue in, like, let's go ahead and see this sequence here. So if I go like this, I do a slide, Janet sweep, into my own. See, I'm doing this, right? Time my own there. Or I can actually even just do Janet stand 1 punches. Right? And then now, just like that, they're getting launched. Safe jump. Right? So things like that, they're going to armor, you can go ahead and do a Janet stand 1 in the middle of that. and it only costs you a little bit. And then you can go into your mix. And with Subzero specifically, he has a safe low, like you saw. He also has a safe overhead. So that's safe. They can't punish that. Let me see. I think if I try to have him do that, he'll probably just get frozen. So let's do the reversal punish with Noob. Right, so he's gonna do that now, right? So if I go, I have to have a block as well. You can see he can't reversal that. I have to put him actually to do reversal. There we go. If I go like this. See, that's real. Also this one, that's also real. So just really good stuff that you get with Janet. And both of these you can loop over and over again. So I have the safe overhead, right? I can go slide, and then when I do the slide, anytime you do the slide, the idea with Subzero is, anytime you do the slide, you can go ahead and you can just have Janet do the split. And you just do that by holding stance switch while you're holding the Kameo button. So that's that, and with Janet in the corner, you also get throw combos. Because if I do this, she can launch. So I can go... Right? So you get throw combos as well. You just go for a forward throw while she's out, into forward 4, and that's a throw combo. So you have overhead, low, and throw mix in the corner with Subzero with Janet. And all of it is safe. So you really don't lose anything. The only thing she doesn't really help you with is auto neutral, like the Jade Glaive. She does give you slide combos with her jump punch. She does give you some zoning utility because you can put this up and that's 2 walls they have to get through to reach you. And Subzero, that's already a really annoying zoner. This can be super good for him, right? So just overall awesome pick. She gives you safety with the nut punch from your mix, and you get a lot going on with her. Let's just say you have him frozen there, then you can try to maybe call, you can even do this, right? You can go, if I go like this, right? I can call the wall, and now they have to deal with this in front of them. Like if the wall's here, they have to deal with this. If they jump over it, they have another clone jump through. So you can basically make it so your opponent can't approach you. And with a character like Subzero where he can just clone charge you, I mean, that's already really good, you know? And just overall, I mean, you could be really annoying with this character. Alright guys, and one last setup that I want to go over is actually with Subzero and Janet, and it is Subzero's Hearts of Blockable setup in the corner. So, like I mentioned before, any special move or character that can hold the opponent in place is good for summoning Janet as a puppet. And then anything with really high hit advantage. And then also, any special move that takes a really long time to finish is also excellent for refreshing Janet in the puppet stance. So Subzero can take full advantage of this because he can actually set you up with a Hearts of Blockable. And now they gotta block that. See? So that's super good, and you can actually get a combo and a refresh from that. See, so that was basically a full health sequence there. I dropped the slide at the end, but you can see there that was a full health sequence just from that Hearts of Blockable setup. So all it takes is one hit, and you can potentially end the, just like with Kenshi, you know, one hit, and that could be the game. And with Subzero of all characters. So you can see just how strong that is with the Janet puppet combos and things like that. And that's with the Hearts of Blockable setup. You can also do the same. You do this setup, the one that I was showing you before. right? Same thing. Right? And then that's basically it. I mean, the game's over. You can do that slide, get your brutal at the very end in this overhead. Right? See? So, and that's basically the idea. So you can cycle somebody with a bunch of safe mitts in the corner that all leads to really, really big damage. And all it took me was the one bar to set it up. And if I happen to land it back too, I don't even need the bar. The whole thing becomes meaningless. See? Again, refresh. So, and they're basically dead. I mean, if I would do this instead, if I were to go, then I could use stand 3 into slide, and that ends it. So yeah, and that pretty much covers the Sub-Zero puppet combos. Hey guys, and bonus round actually, I'm going to show you one with Noob Saibot. So, Noob Saibot, he doesn't really, this is really close, but it's not quite long enough for the split. So he doesn't get this really long, drawn-out combo like Ermac and Subzero do into resets and everything. But what he does get is pretty cool, because he actually gets, off of any safe jump setup, he gets a hard to blockable mix between his 2 and 4 overhead and the Janet sweep. And that looks like this. So if I get this, right, so I go ahead, I do the tackle, knock him down. To do this, ooh, we time it right. And he does that into 41%, which is pretty nice. So that's really good. He could also end it with his forward 3 instead. So, same setup. I do that. I could do that into a safe jump. Right? So same story. And the way that I'm doing that one is I'm doing 2-1 and then doing back 4. And that's how you get that. So 2-1 and back 4. So most people won't expect it because I've literally never seen anyone do this. And the cool thing about this one is you really don't have to hold the Kameo button, which I really like. You just have to hold the Kameo button for the 2-1. Then you can let go of it, the rest of the combo. So I let go there, teleport, and then you can be pressing 2 for Janet. From when you do this, you can be pressing that into your portal. And the cool thing is that your portal input is down back 2. So you could just be, you could even be spamming 2 and be doing your portal input at the same time. So it's really, really cool. And super useful. I missed it there, but you see the idea. That would be the safe jump setup. So a full health sequence might look something like this. And they're dead. And that's pretty much it, guys. This pretty much covers a lot of different, it's a full comprehensive Janet Kameo guide. It covers a lot of cool different tech with the jump punches and the nut punch and with the puppet combos of Janet. You can also use her in throws and stuff like that, where you can like get guaranteed setups with Noob, right, to this setup. So you can do things like that. So she's super powerful. A lot of it too is just kind of like what you can come up with when using the cameos, how creative you can get. That's another like full health sequence. But you can see how like, you know, she's really versatile. She can do a lot of stuff. And that's just kind of like some things to go ahead and get started with your, when you're using Janet. And that pretty much covers this guide, guys. If there's anything that you would like to see, let me know. Like always, like, share if you like this video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And let me know what you want to see next.